this video, we're going to spend a few minutes with Kurt Bryant, and he's going to show us how the Shiloh Rifle Manufacturing Company makes their very own barrels. Let's start with...
Anyways, this is the drill bit for the gun drill. It cuts on one side. There's 1,000 pounds of oil pressure comes through these little holes to keep it rigid and straight. And so if you have it ground perfectly, then you come out the center of the barrel. And it cuts at about 10 thousandths undersize.
Right.
And the barrels come over here to this reaming machine, and we pull a carbide reamer through. And this, it looks straight, but it's actually ballooned in the middle. And this is what puts your final bore size finish in the barrel. I won't be able to video this, but when it comes out of that machine, it looks like that on the inside.
That's the deal. You can see it. Wow. And so now it's ready to get the lands and grooves cut?
Yep. It comes over to this machine, which is a big hydraulic press. And you can change these gears for the different rate of twist that you want to put in the gun. The button doesn't cut, it actually swedges into the steel. So it takes 65 ton to pull this through. You can actually feel this like a snake swallowing a mouse.
Wow.
And the reason we use this process if your barrel steel happens to have a carbon inclusion or a flaw in it, that button will find it. And it'll break right here and never get out in the field. If you were to cut rifle this, you would never know that.
I had no idea
It's got the
about
rifling in it.
There we go.
There's an old...
Yeah, it is. There's rifling in there. That's amazing.
There's an old saying that if a barrel will live through a button, it'll live the rest of its life. Then the barrels, when they get done being rifled, they're under a lot of stress. So we hang them in an oven at a certain temperature and a certain time so that they'll relax, and that'll straighten them right back out, put them in their normalized position. Then we'll rough turn the outside, and it goes in this machine 6 barrels at a time, and 3 hours later you have 6 octagon barrels.
Wow. Takes 3 hours to cut the octagons?
They just run through. There's cams back here where you rotate them. When you get all done, you'll have 6 octagon barrels.
That's amazing. So then the barrel's ready for polishing and...
Yep. Come over here. Before they go to the octagon machine, they get rough turned down. They get the outside concentric with the inside. This is floating around a carbide center, and then this tailstock has a payload center. So as the barrel heats up, it goes this way rather than going this way. And then you watch this. This will clamp down around it. What you end up with. See, this one here will be a half round barrel.
That one's going to be a half round.
It's serial numbered and it's tied up to a receiver. And this, we have pointers over there in that octagon machine that lines the bottom of the barrels up so that your flats and everything come out right. This has all been machined and concentric with the hole. It'll go in here. And this is how you put your whatever caliber chamber you want in it. Carbide reamers. This here is how you set your headspace. So you don't go too deep with the reamer or not deep enough. You come over here. Put this machine in quite a few years ago, and this is what machines the knob on the end of the barrel. And this is, we have gauges and we check for the headspace on that. And since we put this machine in, you can make a barrel today and take a rifle that was made 25 years ago and screw the barrel on, and all your sights and stuff will index up on top. Winchester always did that with their lever guns. That always amazed me, so we're doing it. See, this is the template for the taper. If you watch this tracer, it'll come in there and touch that.
He's going to put the taper on the barrel?
Yeah. He's doing it. This barrel heats up. This is spring-loaded center, so it can go this direction rather than going toward this. And you watch this clamp come down and grab the other side also help that.
What are we doing right here, Randy?
Just making sure it's lined up. Turn the oil on here.
And then we're going to cut a chamber?
Yep. away.
You're controlling how fast the cutter goes into the barrel.
Yeah, I just keep a little pressure on this wheel.
You can feel it cutting in there.
Yeah. And if I get going too fast, you can kind of feel it hitting the lands. So then I'll slow down and keep it nice and smooth.
Which chamber are you cutting right now?
4570. I'm going to watch my gauge, and when I hit the face of that breech, I'll go another 60. Not yet. Myself on the cutters over there. That's a 50 thousandths block, so then I'll set my indicator to 50. Right now I'm at 57 deep. I'll finish up the rest of it. I don't know if I'm in the way.
Newly chambered 4570 barrel. That's really cool. Thanks, Randy.
Well, that's about all there is to it. Check the depth. Within a half thousand.
That is really cool.
That was it.
It'll be ready to go to the octagon machine.
What's that?
It'll be ready to go to the octagon machine right now.
Thanks, Randy.
Yep. See ya.
So, Randy, can you tell me what you're doing there?
I'm getting the octagon machine ready, set up. Yep.
This is gonna crank out 6 octagon barrels.
Yeah, 6 at a time.
How long have you worked at Shiloh, Randy?
14 years now.
You're one of the new guys?
Well, one of the younger ones maybe.
How long does it take you to set this up?
It'll take about 20-25 minutes.
Yeah.
And we got our, here's one of our scribe lines that's bottom dead center.
Right.
So then I got a plate that'll go on there, and then I got to line up those little pointers,
Right.
those scribe lines.
These little guys right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
It,
And then it's gonna cut the flats on those barrels.
what's that?
It will cut the flats on those barrels
Yep.
once it's all set up. Wow.
It'll take about, I don't know, 20 minutes to cut one flat, then I'll come over and change them all over to the next one, and just keep going around and around. Octagon stuff's all locked down now. I gotta line up my scribe marks and coordinate. There's a nice little shadow.
You're making sure that they're all exactly perfectly lined up.
Yeah, we're gonna get that scribe line exactly top dead center. That'll be our bottom flat. Get some of my pins a little bit lower so I can get it lined up this time. back over this way. Start tightening down these set screws now that I got them locked in place. So now the barrel won't turn in those two collars there. I gotta loosen all the octagon stuff back up, tighten my other two screws on each of those collars, and come back to the top, and we'll be ready to go.
Wow.
Like the old school 44 mag rolls in there. Different, you know, you get different data. You look up warranty, there's 110 for 44 mag. Yeah, they do, but it's different than what they have.
Tighten up the muzzle centers.
All right.
screws to tighten. Those little plungers under the barrel are spring loaded, so we get them up to the barrel and then tighten them down, keeps them from jumping around a little bit.
You're not missing out on break time right now, are you?
What's that?
You're not missing out on break time right now, are you?
Yeah.
Let's take a break.
This thing be going in 2 minutes.
Oh, it will?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep, we're almost there. Okay, we're ready to go. I was cutting some bull barrels before, and now I gotta adjust the cutter down.
Oh.
That'll take a while to get it. And that's the basics of it.
Cool. Yeah, I want to get a little footage when you start cutting. That's really cool. Do they index automatically, or do you have to reset every barrel? Come out of the octagon machine, right?
Right, this is after it's been stamped. Dovetails cut in it. Chambered.
Amazing.
And the paperwork. At These are the barrels that came out of the octagon machine. Has the dovetails cut in them. Lug stamp. This one here's a Hartford collar.
Wow.
When people want a polished barrel, well then they'll go on this rack and we'll start hand polishing them up to 400 grit. And then when you blow them, it gives you that real deep black blue.